because we all grow up together and we all we grow up in the same world. Like, even if you feel like you're not connected from anything and you feel like, humanity's not connected and it's not all interconnected, because you can feel that way. If you think about it from a scientific, grand standpoint, it kind of is, because every single instinct you have, every single reaction you have, it's all kind of baked in. So much of it is. Not every single bit of it, but so much of it. To the point where if you really were to think, what do I do that's actually original? Probably none of it. Probably absolutely none of it's original.
But we think we are.
We think we are. But even, okay, so someone said once, so if you think about when you're thinking, what language you're thinking in, you didn't make those words up. Someone else made those words up for you. So you're thinking in someone else's words. So the only way you're really thinking in a way that's original would be outside of language, because in language it is still, which is just crazy to me to think about, because you always think in a language. And it's crazy to think when you learn another language, you have to think in the other language. That's a whole thing.
Yeah.
It's just the whole idea of that,
Cue the dancer.
What is that?
Universal language.
Oh, exactly. Right.
Dance is a universal language.
Music and dance, I think both are a universal language. Absolutely.
But with dance, you move and you can communicate with movement without understanding your verbal language.
Right.
You're speaking, your movement is speaking for you. That's why they call it a universal language. And so with breaking, breaking broke out in the 70s, right? With this sudden type of movement. And with us, it's all about originality and musicality and all of that, but being original, right? People around the world, as breaking began to spread out, this is so cool, you would see people doing different moves, but they'd be the same moves, but they've never met. It was before the internet. How are they finding the same, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Finding all the way over here. So you think you're original, you made up this crazy move, but yet in the same time frame, somebody else also created that move, Have you
heard Rick Rubin talk about how people don't have ideas, people find ideas, and it's kind of this idea that if you have a creative idea that catches, it's not even that you came up with the right idea, it's that was the time for that idea to find someone. And
I think that that's the way it is, even with the dance, there was a time frame for this to emerge, and yes, there's an original roots, in African dance and, all the early dances like Lindy Hop and all of these old school, very, very old school from the 20s and even before that, where that inspiration might have been drawn from. But I feel like there's a time for specific movements, ideas,
Dance Like an Egyptian was the 90s.
That was the 80s.
There was a time for that. It was the 80s.
That was the 80s,
man.
Yeah. That was the Bangles.
He's before me. That's how you know.
Cue the Bangles. Yeah. Funny story. I was actually in Florida, and I was at a bar in Fort Myers, and I'm just sitting there just chilling and all this. I'm eating some wings, just enjoying my life. And and all of a sudden, everybody around me is like, ooh, 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 ooh. And I was like, what's going on? They're like, the Bangles. That's the Bangles sitting next to you. And I was like, what? And they're old. I didn't recognize them. I didn't even care. But I was like, hey, what's up? I didn't treat them any different. There was no stir, but anyways, yeah. So
that's funny.
They bought me a shot of Fireball. It was the most disgusting thing I've ever had in my life. Don't drink Fireball if you love your stomach. Oh my God.
I had a small Fireball phase, but theoretically in funny scenario, this was before I had access to going into a store and buying alcohol. In this silly scenario I'm presenting to people, I'm 16 years old, right? Because that's probably the age most people drink Fireballs. I guess. It's whoa, this is like candy.
It's always wild to me to hear people drinking it and enjoying it, because for me it's just a low. I don't
like it anymore.
I'm not a huge I'm not into all of that, scene, the drinking scene or anything like that. But that day, because the Bangles bought me a shot, I took it, Oh my God. Enter rock gut. It was awful. It was awful, but So yeah.
Yeah, well, and if you never drink, your tolerance is just so low. You just have one tiny bit of alcohol.
Yeah.
You're like, ooh.
Especially in like low quality. That stuff is like low quality.
Yeah, so yes, that's a great point too.
Yeah.
If you don't drink, do not subject yourself to something low quality. The one time you do, you'll be so ashamed of yourself. Like, it's not even that you won't enjoy it, you'll just feel ashamed.
Shame and dishonor. Dishonor on you, dishonor on you. I'm just kidding. Your ancestors, your cow.
Because if you just had like, if you were at some fancy bar and it's like a $25 drink made with the most premium ingredients and like they're garnishing it and everything, well then it's like, okay, well maybe I'll break my rule. And you wouldn't even really feel bad about that.
Right.
But if it's like a cheap beer at a bar or something, it's like, I am sick.
Yeah, it makes you sick. Stuff makes you sick. But
yeah, I don't know. I used to like drinking a lot, but and comedy, like being around comedy, you see it everywhere, especially at open mics, because it's all about, it's at a bar, so usually the comedians drink, and usually the bar wants the comedians to buy drinks, or that's the whole point, is we want people to buy drinks while they're at the open mic, and so you'll just see a whole lot of that. And I just don't really, I don't know. For some reason, I feel like alcohol, I feel like it brings people to the same level as everyone else. Like, it feels like everyone, it reminds me of like when I see someone who's particularly drunk, they're like a 3-year-old. Like, they remind me of a 3 to 5-year-old. And it's really funny to me. Like, if you think about it, if you look at someone who's drunk, they look like if you just imagine them as a child, it actually kind of makes sense. Like a child who needs to go to bed. And
enter the temper tantrums. And
you don't ever even talk to me anymore. You know what? You're not even my friend. And I thought we were friends, but the way you treated me the last few days.
But we're friends, man, and we'll be friends forever. And I love you, man. I love you. But
that one's, and it's like you knew them.
I'm so pissed at you, man, because you're not my friend.
Yeah, it's the same thing, but also the exact opposite.
It's like the run-on sentence that keeps going around. It's
I
like
love you, but I fucking
hate you. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. And drunk people are they have very strong feelings.
Yes.
That they always regret. And it's just like when I see those things, especially not being drunk, I'm like, I don't know. I don't think that's me. I don't think that's who I want to be. And, you know.
No, that can literally cue off, like, that sets people off, you know, like my family, deep, dark, alcohol, all of that. One
thing I wanted to say too, though, to caveat that, is there's obviously pros of alcohol. I think one thing it does very well is it's a good social lubricant. You'll see people open up to people in ways that they maybe should, but they wouldn't otherwise.
It sets a tone of relaxing and like kicking back, right? And I think moderation, cool. But if there's something in you where you can't, that line, you go beyond that, not cool. Like,
and I think,
I guess, away. But now, now though, like, there's more of a movement to step away from alcohol.
Right. Yeah.
So like you see like the 0 proof options. Props to all the bars who do that. Like, they have all of these like 0 proof options for people who choose not to drink but still want to have that experience. They want to have this glass, right? I think that's dope, like where you can just go and do that, and it's kind of a seamless experience. It doesn't, you're not having like an iced tea while everybody else is having a cocktail, right? So they create and make an art out of it and make special drinks that doesn't have the alcohol.
I like that they do CBD drinks some places around here.
I've heard about that, like that's
that makes me
cool
excited.
Movement.
CBD is good. I say to people that CBD is like all the things that THC does, but better, and it just doesn't get you like high. That's basically what it is. Like when it comes to like when people say weed helps with their anxiety, CBD helps with anxiety probably way more than weed would. You're just not getting high. So.
Yeah. Well, and it really depends on like how your body can process it. So like one time I took CBD. And I think I like low-key had a seizure. Like,
oh, really?
It was crazy. I woke up in the middle of the night screaming. I didn't know what happened. Like, what's happening? But you
might have gotten possessed.
And I had no idea what happened to me. It just felt like something exploded. Like, I don't even know how to explain that. And then I had vertigo for like a week after that. So.
And the one thing you did differently was the CBD?
The CBD. High quality, traceable, all the things. I checked all the boxes.
Wow.
And so a few months later, I was listening to a podcast, and they said that if you have a blocked pathway, like what are they called? Like you have detox pathways, and if that is blocked, if you have a certain mutation, then CBD can be really bad for you. And I was like, oh, that's what happened to me. That's what happened to me. I know it. That's what happened to me.
That's a bummer.
So, yeah, so I can't do that, unfortunately. But
it's a bummer because CBD is a magical thing. Like, if you look at people's testimonials about it, people even say, like, oh, I've had arthritis and it cured my arthritis, and the doctor told me there was nothing else. It's like mind-blowing. I didn't know that, though. What is the, so it's a,
I don't
what is
know the
it?
name of the specific pathway. I just remember hearing it and I was like, oh my God, that's it. That's what happened. I know that's what happened to me because I have another blocked pathway. It's called the MTHFR mutation, but I call it the mother. I'm not going to say it, but I call it the mother effer because it blocks your detox pathways. So you don't detox like regular people would. You can't get rid of toxins. So MTHFR, look it up, fam.
You should do, you ever hear of foot detoxes?
Yes.
Those are nice.
Yeah, that, infrared saunas, dry brushing, I got to find all the ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I looked it up recently, and every time I do the foot detox, I feel better. Every time I do it, I feel better.
Do you do it here or do you go somewhere?
I do it here because you can get a little tub for
like the Ionic bath or whatever. Does the water turn all weird color?
Yeah, but that's the thing. This is the thing, is what it was saying when I was reading about it, is that the color is not like it's been proven that you could change the color without your feet in there. It's actually the electricity going through the coil that's making it change color. So I think what's actually happening is it is detoxing your body, but I think it's more about like you're made of electricity, and what you're really doing is you're pumping electricity through your body and out through the water.
Wild.
You're kind of like charging your body like a light battery or something. I feel like that's
the Matrix.
I don't know what
battery.
Because I thought about it, like if you did this at a high voltage, you probably would like, zap yourself. You're just running light electricity through you.
That's wild.
That's what it is.
I've seen people do it, but I've never done it. So you said you feel better?
Yeah. So for people who don't know what I'm talking about, it's like you have a tub and you put a little coil in there. The coil is plugged into a box, and then the box is plugged into a wall or an outlet, and then you turn the box on. The electricity is going to run through another thing you plug into the box, and that you put on your arm. So that's going to run through your arm, and that's how it works. And then you also I learned, you don't just put normal salt in there or sea salt or whatever. You put Epsom salt.
Yeah, Epsom salts are really good.
Because Epsom salt's already good for like a cleanse or a detox or whatever. So then you use it for that. Oh, dude, it is the best. And it is... It's weirdly satisfying to see the water slowly change color. I will say that too.
So it's called Ionic
foot detox, Ionic foot bath, yeah. And you can get one of them for, I want to say $120.
Not bad.
You just want to get a little tub that you can put your feet in while you do it. That's the other thing you'd want to get, and that's basically it. I don't know how much of it, because at first I thought, oh, this is all the toxins coming out of my body. Look, it's all red. Whoa, I must have blood clots. Like, I don't know. It must be clearing my blood out, because you do feel good afterwards. So it's like, oh my gosh, I feel limber. Like, I feel all like, why do I feel like this? Maybe my blood is clear. Like, I don't know what it means. And then I read this recently, so now I'm conflicted. I don't know which is which. It makes more sense that it's probably the discoloration is probably not all stuff that's coming out of, because when your feet are in there, you can kind of see it flowing out of the coil. So that wouldn't even really make sense. I don't know. I thought it was some kind of black magic. I still think it is, because you do feel better after. So I highly recommend them.
Yeah.
All that stuff, though. You gotta find ways to detox your body, no matter who you are. Even if your body can do
Facts.
it, just detox your body.
Seriously,
like
straight
kombucha.
facts.
Kombucha's good for detoxing your liver, your gut, right?
How about hydrating?
Water. Shout out water.
Shout out to water.
You would be amazed
Shout
at
out
the
to my
amount of
boy
people
Water.
that don't drink water.
Yeah.
Like, just that don't even think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a basic, like what? We're 80% water.
Yeah.
Yet we don't replenish that.
Yeah.
So yeah, detoxing is huge. Like we're in a toxic world, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, politically. Everything's toxic, and so you definitely need that. You need to breathe.
Do you consider yourself a detox for other people?
Oh my. Yes, I do actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that way about myself, and that's why I ask you that question.
Yep.
The people, they may have been listening to us say all these things for the last 15 minutes.
Right.
They might not know who you are, Shawny Neubecker.
What up, though?
Yeah, tell them what you actually do. Like, what is Truheartphoto? Where does that stem from? What is the idea behind all that stuff? All of that.
So my name is Shawny Neubecker. I am so many things, but recently, the last 3 years, Truheartphoto is my business, which comes from True Heart Project, which was an effort to highlight the beauty and potential in humanity, community, and culture. I love people. I see people. I see their beauty. I see their greatness. I see how amazing they are. I see their brokenness. I see their heart. I see people's true hearts. And so for me, with True Heart Project, it came from telling their stories and, with a video, mini documentary type style stuff, but that wasn't sustainable. Like, everybody felt good, but I wasn't making any money. And not that I'm doing it to make money, but
I did the 60. You know the 60 seconds thing. I did that for a long time.
Seconds.
Yeah, that's how we met. I think that's how we actually formally met. Yeah.
So I love that, but
what I was just gonna say real quick is, it becomes unsustainable because if you're doing mini documentaries about people consistently for a long period of time, for free.
Yeah.
For
free. Editing, time, equipment, all of that. And it's like, it makes people feel good, but you need to actually get poured into because you're giving and you're pouring out so much.
But
right?
You could look at it as like at least like an internship, or it is like a good showcase of your skill set, right?
Well, that's set the bar. Like for you, that's set the foundation of what you're doing now.
For you as well, though.
And then also conversely for me. But for me, before that was even like, I've been a mentor for, they were youth, now they're adults. So like I've been a mentor for over 2 decades.
Yeah.
Just loving on, the ones that people don't see anything good in, and kids who struggle in the community or maybe don't have parents. I've brought in kids, I've brought in adults into my house and raised them like my own children. And even my daughter Haley, like she is my daughter. Like it's like, it's real, and, it's like my very own, there's no seam, there's no divide, and people need that. So that's what I do. I just love people. And now I capture people, the camera.
And you think is the same idea?
Yeah, it really is. It really is because I love people. I love sacred moments. I value creativity, expression. I see it as beautiful. Like when I see, so I'm here in Chicago, woo woo, I'm excited to be here. But like the buildings. So you go downtown and everybody's like, oh, with the buildings, and I am too. But it's not just because they're buildings. It's because I see the work that the people who built it. I see the people who might have lost an arm building that building. I see the people, the architect poring over the drawings. I see the people who built that place. Like that's what I see. So like when I'm capturing beautiful lines, but in my heart, I'm also capturing the hard work, the creativity, the dedication of the people who actually built it, Yeah. So it's like, for me, it's legacy stuff. It's like sacred moments, story, legacy,
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing that drew me to a place like this to begin with. I feel like there's a lot of culture packed into everything, like every building does kind of tell a story in this way. Yeah. And if you really wanted to, you could look into it, and every building does have a story. I mean, that's why some of those architecture boat tours are so cool, because if they really know what they're talking about, they can tell you a lot about, this building was built during the 40s, this building was built during the 80s, this building, that clock tower one, there's something really special about that one. I think it's the only one that has that old-timey architecture.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful, and it's, it stands out.
Yeah.
Like your eye is automatically drawn there.
Yeah.
And there's purpose in it, just like what we were talking about in the beginning, right? Everything is connected and is there for a reason and a purpose, and it all comes together and creates this beautiful city.
Yeah.
For us to enjoy.
Yeah. Yes.
To function in.
And again, like what I was saying at the very beginning, I think everything comes back to that interconnectedness, right? And that's I think that's why I enjoy helping people and giving people a spotlight or something like that, right? Because like I would say, like, in the very beginning, I was doing things strictly because, oh, this would be a good idea. Like, interviews, oh, this is a good idea. Oh, podcast, oh, this would be a good idea. But I think, like, over time, I imagine this is what it's like if you're somebody who, like, puts shows together or makes big projects with a lot of people. Like, eventually it just becomes, it's so much bigger than you. Yeah. And you realize it's so much bigger than you. And what you're doing is kind of like, every time you add to it, it's not so much about you anymore, you know?
It's like a big puzzle.
Yeah.
Right? And in the moment, you feel like this puzzle piece is the whole puzzle.
Yeah.
When you're in it.
Right, yeah.
Because you're so fully absorbed in the moment. But really what's happening is every moment is connecting you to the next. And it's just creating a huge, beautiful picture.
Right, yeah,
you know, whether it's with people, whether it's with your own growth. You know what I mean? All of it is just building your story, your beautiful life story, our story as a culture, you know, like, right. I think we lose some of the awe and wonder of that. Like, yo, you were born for such a time as this right now. You weren't born in the 1800s, right? You weren't born in the 1920s. You were born right now. Like, there's a reason why you're here, you know, and there's a reason why we're all here connected in this moment. What are we bringing?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Who are we connecting to? Yesterday, I was supposed to be meeting with a friend, and it didn't work out the way that it was supposed to. I ended up meeting a stranger. And, like, literally, if all of the stuff prior had not happened, I would not have run into this girl, this lady, woman, whatever. And we just started talking. She never talks to anybody. She's usually very quiet and to herself. And she was like, do you like this hotel? I don't like this hotel. That's how our conversation started as strangers. And I'm like, yeah, actually, I really like it. She goes, I'm disappointed with it and all this stuff. And what it was that she was disappointed because the hotel didn't create enough of an experience for her. She doesn't venture out of hotels when she travels. She stays in the hotel. She stays in the puzzle piece, right? She stays right there. She doesn't travel out and enjoy. So I was like, you know what? I got a place. Let's go. She was like, no. I'm like, no, we're going. Hi, random stranger. We're going to dinner. So we did. And we went to a rooftop and we had a great time. And she had a great time. And it was like building for her that connection. Turns out she's from Michigan. Turns out she lived in the town I grew up in. Chicago, in Chicago, you know, both of us from Michigan, grew up in the same town, and now we're friends. And now she had an experience that she never had before, right? And who knows what the next puzzle piece will be, right?
Right.
I would normally, honestly, she's not my type as far as friends go. You know what I mean? Not somebody I would normally be drawn to, but why? There was something that drew me to her and her to me. Boom, connection, puzzle piece.
Right.
Now that's just opening up a whole other door in another area, right?
Yeah.
Come on, it's beautiful. We just have to be open, you know? Be adventurous.
Yeah. Doesn't it ever, like, blow your mind, though? Like, how seemingly complex the whole thing is. Like, it seems so simple with a story like that. Like, oh, she was from the town I'm from. And, like, it seems like all the pieces come together. But when you really think about it, like, it's so much, the world is so much bigger.
Yes.
Like, the odds of that even happening.
And we could have missed each other 2 seconds before. We would have missed each other.
Yeah.
Everything led up to that moment. Why?
Right. Well, and, like, just the infinite amount of connections you can make, right? Like, that's just a never-ending thing. Like, that's what drives me nuts sometimes. Like, when I really think about it, like, I could keep doing this forever. I could just keep meeting new people forever, because there's always going to be new people. Like, my crazy number podcast goal is 4,000. Okay, that's the number I want to hit. And even, like, you're going to repeat guests. So let's just have conservatively, let's say we repeat guests for 1,500 of those episodes.
Yeah.
That's 2,500 episodes right there.
2,500 new people.
And that's not that many people on the grand scale of things. If you really think about it, you can't have everybody. You can't meet everyone.
Yes.
Like, there's a limit to it. I think I can't remember who it was. It was like, I think it was Carl Sagan, and it was a clip, and he was saying, he was standing in a library, and he's like, there's so many books inside of this library. Maybe it was like around 1,000. I can't remember the exact number, but there's so many books inside of this library that you see around me right now. If you were to read a book every single week for 50 years, you still couldn't read the amount of books inside of this library. And that's so crazy to think about, you know, that it's, you think you can do all these things and you think it's unlimited.
You think you can, but you just can't, Nemo.
But it is unlimited.
Right.
That's the paradox, is
Yes.
you actually can do all these things. So I think like life is always like value judgments, and always like you have to allow yourself to be open to these moments, but also like make conscious choices to do the right thing at the same time.
Absolutely.
And not completely lollygag through life hoping that things are going to happen. You also have to like, you know, put yourself into it. There's only, it's like it goes both ways, you know?
Yeah, you have to have boundaries too, because if you just lived your life open to everybody in any time,
just let everything flow,
and you're just getting swept away by this and swept away by that, you know, then you will never get anything done. You'll be like a bottle in the ocean, you know, just kind of bobbing around. And
I think that's the majority of people is probably something like that. Is like, because it's very hard to have precision and to know what you want to do. You know?
Facts. And then they don't have what they need to actually move themselves through that. But when you make that conscious decision to
it's about like what you were saying earlier about moments, like moments that you choose things, and then that builds up into other things throughout time. It's like, you don't have the things now, but if you start making the choices that would lead to you getting to that, then you can get there.
Yeah.
But if you don't think that way, you're never going to go that direction.
Well, if that thought has never entered your mind and you're just surfing through life, like, okay, I'm just taking what the day brings me.
And that's why people need detoxes, right? Because then the detox comes along, and all of a sudden, now they can see clearly. Well, I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. Shout out Spider-Man. That reminds me of Spider-Man, that song.
It's true. You have to detox yourself, like, from your interactions, you know. And even that, it's so funny because that lady who I met with and she talked about, you know, moving into a house, and she was just suddenly compelled to clean everything in her house, to cleanse her house.
Wow.
And how many times do we take a look? We just let things like build up around us, build up in us, and we don't take time to cleanse.
Right.
We don't take time to purge. We don't take time to release that which is no longer ours to hold, right? So, or is no longer serving us. You know, toxins inside my body, I realized I had a blocked pathway, so now I have to find a new path to do that. How do I now detox? You know, and just being intentional. And so, like, it doesn't stop me from experiencing the world, the fact that I have a blocked detox pathway. I still want to experience everything, you know, but I just make my choices a little differently, right? I'm eating like a really good salad, a healthy salad. I'm eating healthy food. You know what I mean? I'm monitoring what kind of connections I'm making, you know, and dealing with that. But then I'm also just like taking time to like breathe. Like yesterday in the butterfly garden, you know, I have been walking through all this crazy weather.
I think that's why, like,
Navy Pier. I was walking Navy Pier. Seas of humanity. Like, everybody all around you, oppressive heat, and I was just like done. I'm like, this is horrible. When I saw that little dome, that little butterfly house, and I just was like, I can't go back yet. I need to go in there. And it was like the soft music, butterflies, flowers, quiet. I literally almost cried. Just because you have to process all that stuff, you know, and release it. And so that's what I did, you know. So it's just so important. Detox. Well, but and like also live your life with purpose, but also, you know, take care of yourself too.
Well, and like just you saying that, you know, just the humanity of it and the complexity of it, you know, like it's overwhelming, and I think that's why you need to have like a calm meditative experiences to take you away from all of that. You know, that's the whole point of meditation in my mind, is like to find ways to be present and not to be so involved in all of these things outside of you, but to be more, or even if you are involved with those things, to understand your interconnection with it rather than to externalize it, right? You know, I think like there's a million ways you can achieve like a therapeutic meditative state. though. Like, it's not just therapy and it's not just meditation. It could be all kinds of things, you know, and it's all about balance, like all things are, right? So it's like you can overdo it. Like for somebody, meditation could even be playing a video game. That could be like a form of meditation that takes them away from, like, I think that's why it's unfair when you see these people who get mad at like boyfriends who play video games, because you can take that too far. But some boyfriends need to play video games. If you get mad at your boyfriend for wanting to play 2K every night at 10 p.m., if he only plays it for an hour and he really only plays it for an hour, you can't get mad.
No.
Even if it's 2 hours, that's still okay in my mind. 10 to 12 every night, he clocks in and out, maybe 5 nights a week, maybe every night's a bit much. Let's say 4 to 5 nights. But still, right? Like, you need a release. Whole point being, you need a release. No matter what it is.
Yo.
And for some people, and maybe he's on 2K hanging with the boys. Maybe that's what it is. Those where his friends are. His friends from wherever, that's the only place he hangs out with them is 2K. It could be anything. Or maybe it's talking to people. Maybe you have one friend that you talk to every now and then, and every time you talk to them, it's like, oh my God, I'm so glad we talked, and that just makes you feel better. Maybe it's talking to family members.
Yeah.
Maybe it's going for a walk. Maybe going to see some butterflies.
Right.
You know, it could be anything.
Or dancing.
Or dancing, yes.
Or
yeah.
running.
For me, making music is a therapeutic thing.
Have you
When I
been-
write a song and when it's complete and when I can perform it, that's so therapeutic for me. It feels like, oh, I've done it. Like I am reconnected with my purpose. Like, I've done it. This is what I'm here for.
There's been a few things that have been real meditative for me. One of them is running. Because when I run,
I
it's
love
like,
running.
I don't know, like when I'm doing this and I'm just running and there's nothing. It's just me moving my body. There's no thought. Like, there's something so magical about it. It is. That's like the closest thing that I can say is a meditative state for me is running or boxing. I can just shut everything out and just, you know, just train.
I think physical activities
physical
like
activity
those,
is so great.
it's because you're entirely involved. Like running, I love so much for the same exact reason. And I have this electric skateboard that I ride to work. It takes me like 40 minutes. I'm going like 30 or 25 miles an hour on that thing. I'm going fast.
Wow.
But anyway, you have to be you can't be thinking about a bunch of other things while you're doing that. You can only be thinking about like scanning the ground in front of you,
Yep.
looking around you, making sure nobody's going to kill you right now,
Yep.
and don't fall off the skateboard,
Yep.
and make sure to steer. But you're not even thinking those things. You're just riding the skateboard. You know what I mean? Like, you're
being.
so in the moment and being right that you're outside of all those things. Because if you start to think about other things too much, that's how you fall off and get really hurt.
It's true.
And running, that's how you start to, you can't run and be so, especially if you're physically exerting yourself and you're in the middle of a run. Now you can't be thinking about all those things anymore, because now it's like, oh my God.
Right?
That's all you're thinking.
Well, and
Oh
when
my
I'm
God.
running, like, and when I start to like, what happens when I get to that point of, oh my God, I'm like, oh God, I need to stop. Because then I'm thinking too much about how it's affecting me. I'm thinking too much about how I'm tired and I don't want to do this anymore. But when I look ahead at the goal, when I look ahead and keep my gaze straight ahead, I'm not inward, I'm straight ahead that way.
Right.
Everything changes.
Right.
Everything shifts. But when I put my head down, I start breathing heavy and I'm like, oh my God, it's over. You lose your whole rhythm, you lose your whole flow. But when you keep your gaze just ahead, I'm telling you, it changes everything when you're running. Like, or when you're even doing anything, when you're working out. You know, like, I just like lock in on some invisible point in the future. and that's where I stay focused. Just my gaze is ahead. And everything. I can do things that I never thought I could do before.
Yeah.
When I do that.
I mean, I think that's what life is ultimate. I think what all good things are is that is looking farther ahead than what this might even do for you now or in the near future. Like all of this, every single podcast episode, like, those all build upon each other. Like I said 4,000 to you earlier, because that's the way ahead that I'm thinking about.
I believe that you're going to exceed that, by the way. I really do. I believe you will exceed that. How many of you had so far?
This is 177. And this is,
177.
you're right around 100 since your last episode. You were last on, I want to say 82 or 83.
Wow.
I was trying to check beforehand.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So You never know.
You're now a 3-time guest, by the way. We got a 3-time guest into his house.
Repeat. Let's go. Here I am.
And you're going to be on their episode 3,846,
That's
you know?
right. Or episode 4001 and being like, I told you.
I told you.
I told you.
That'd be perfect.
I told you so.
30 years from now.
It won't be that long. I mean, think about it. What's it? Entrepreneurs on Fire. He does like every day. Like
if I
7 days a week. Like that guy's crazy. JLD or whatever his
So
name
I
is.
thought about this. He does it every day? Who is this? Tell me.
7 days a week. Entrepreneurs on Fire.
It's a podcast?
Yes.
Is it like, what's he doing? Is it just news? Do you have guests?
He's interviewing entrepreneurs.
Every day?
Yes.
New people every day?
He batches, though. He's a batch boy.
He films them all in one day?
Yeah, he batches them all in one day and then spits them out every day.
But they can only be like around an hour, though.
Even Christmas.
How long are they?
Oh, yeah, he's shorter.
Yeah.
He's like, the one I just listened to was 54 minutes, I think, and that was probably one of the longest ones I've heard so far. He's usually very quick.
54 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. See, 'cause that's doable. If I was doing hour-long podcasts, I booked like 5 or 6 in a day. Problem is, you can't really hang with people at all, and that actually kind of is part of it. Believe it or not. Like sometimes it is like the first like 20 minutes, or like not everybody has time to hang out, but still like I've had podcasts that are the 4-hour one I did with Jason Melton. Shout out Jason Melton. He's like second longest episode yet. No, he's number 1. He's longest episode yet.
How long was it? Because I thought my episodes were long.
Oh
no,
no, you're not even in the top 10. You got to pass.
And I can't do it today either. I gotta go, but
you'll get there one day. Don't worry.
We will get there one day.
Currently, as we film this, to be in the top 10, you have to be at least 3 hours and 20 minutes, I think. The longest episode is 4 hours and 10 minutes with Jason Melton. Second one is 4 hours, I think just under 4 hours with Emily Ogle. Both those guys are very funny. Jason and Emily. Emily's very funny too.
Did you guys have like dinner?
Right. Well, with Emily, I didn't know it was I never know that's gonna happen with her. I think she had just gotten off of work, so we're just chilling, you know. And then like I remember at the very end, she's like, I had no idea this was gonna be a 4-hour podcast. I can't do her voice at all. That was the worst impression I think I've ever done on record. And then Jason Melton, I think he just had the day off. I think he had the day off. Because what I was going to say was, we did our 4-hour, the longest episode I've ever done, 4 hours, 10 minutes. And then I think we hung out for another hour and a half after that, you know? So, because that's kind of, I think like you're really, what's so magical about something like this, and I'm sure you know, is that you really are developing connections and relationships with people. And like I said before about how having this grand perspective, it goes so much farther than this present moment. You don't realize that you just even making that choice to just be cool and just hang out with this person and not treat it like a professional thing. Yeah. Like you get something completely different. Not saying that doing like 10 episodes a day with an hour each is a bad idea, because if that's what you're trying to do, I mean, dude, that's consistent.
Yeah.
Shout out to that dude. He's going hard.
He's mad consistent.
Yeah.
He's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You'll have to listen to him. You'll respect his hustle.
I'll like it. I'm sure I'll like it. We'll get him on the show one of these days.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. But yeah,
if he's not busy.
I've been listening to him because it's just so interesting, you know, to hear different entrepreneurs, you know, in the journey.
Yeah. There's a few of those podcasts that are pretty. They get entrepreneurs to break it down. There's a few of those now where that's gotten to be its own sub niche of podcasts where we're going to give you the inside perspective in the business world, you know, which is cool. It's cool that exists.
Yeah, it is. It is cool. I love it.
But I was gonna say I would do an episode every day if it were possible. That sounds like, because like what you just said, I could probably do like 2 or 3 days a week, 3 episodes a day for 3 days, and just do 5-hour slots for each. It is kind of nuts, though. Maybe that is crazy. There's got to be a way to do it because I want to give it time to where it's like it could go for however long, and also if it cuts short, I can, you know, feed myself, walk my dog, have a life. And so
have a life? How about that?
Yeah. During my 15-hour work shift, you know. But this would be the right thing to do like that, because it's not necessarily work. So it's fun. It's almost fun to do it in such a way. And if I did it like that, you could make it happen, but it's editing, it's all of this. It's why you stopped doing video. Yeah. If I had an editor and I had a producer, this would be so much more consistent. It would be nuts. It would be so crazy, because I'm already halfway there. It's just I have to spend all my time rendering things on my computer.
Yep.
I don't want to do this.
You're going to grow beyond that.
Yeah, thank you. I know.
Yeah, you're going to grow beyond that.
Well, that's
Shout
why
out
when
to
you
the editors out there who love to edit.
Yeah, hey, if
Love
any of you
you.
editors want to be on the ground floor of something that's going to change the podcast world, on the record, I said it right here. You wanna reach out to me now. I really do feel that way.
Yeah.
You ever feel like you're gonna change the world? You feel like you're changing the world now?
Yes, I do.
You think so?
I am. I already know that I am. And it happens in those little moments, right? Like those little puzzle pieces, because how I view every moment as a possibility. And like my eyes are open and ready and waiting for a moment. You know, like
Yeah.
we're all desperate in need of a moment. You know what I mean? Like that person that I met yesterday, you know, she broke out of her shell for the first time and did something that she doesn't normally do or enjoys doing.
And that is changing the world.
And that is changing the world, because you never know what that moment is going to unlock in her, right? And it wasn't even just about that. We talked about deep stuff at dinner. Like, I might as well have been her sister, the way that I was talking to her, you know? And that's the thing. That's how I know I'm changing the moments. You know, it's just so funny when people say, oh yeah, Shawny, she's a photographer. No, I'm not a photographer. I mean, I am. That's what I do, but that's not who I am.
I have a t-shirt. I have them over there. It says professional mind blower.
Yes.
That's what I consider myself.
Hey.
A professional mind blower.
That's it. And
I like to perform, and then at the very end, when I get my loud applause that I always get. For real though, it surprises me sometimes, because like people, wow!
Yes.
I immediately professional
You're
mind
like,
blower. Yeah, I throw it up there.
Facts.
Yes, that's the perfect thing to do in that moment.
Yeah.
If you've now convinced them, you let them know.
Yeah.
I know that I've convinced you. I do this often.
This is my life purpose. Yeah. For me, it's seeing people and loving people, you know, and just changing the world. Like, that's it for me. Like,
and I think we do change the world one step at a time, one decision at a time, one thing at a time.
Yep.
And it is like when you were saying that earlier, it makes me think of like a mosaic, where it's all these pictures that turn into a bigger picture when you zoom out and you can finally see it.
Or, you know, like stained glass. It's like broken pieces of glass that come together and make something beautiful, right?
Yeah.
You just never know. Like I said, if you can actually just change the way that you look at the one moment that you're in, and you have a broader vision, and you understand that it's going to connect you to something else, you know, it's teaching you, it's training you, it's preparing that next moment, then you can just be fully right here, right now, you know?
And the song for this today's episode every 3 days, so it can't be this week. We'll just dedicate the entire month to this song. How about that? Thank You Next by Ariana Grande.
Thank you.
I'm so fucking grateful for my ex, right? It's all about those bad experiences and learning from them.
Yes.
Shout out Ariana.
No, seriously, everything. It's like no losses, only lessons.
Yeah.
No losses, only lessons.
Yeah, well, and I think like someone asked me yesterday, I was featured on IQ Souls podcast, POD podcast, I think it's called.
Okay.
POD podcast, Ruse. Type it on YouTube, you'll find it. But he asked me like if I think that there's a fate, or if I think that like things happen for a reason. And I think like even if it's not true, it's better to think that things do. For that very reason. It's like when bad things are happening, you have to have that bigger perspective and think, oh, this must be happening for a reason. But what reason could it possibly be? And that should be the question you're asking yourself. Not why is this happening to me in a sad way, like, oh, I don't deserve this, but like, why could this be happening to me? What are the possible reasons that life would lead me to this moment, and where's this going to go? And you just you can't be so involved in the moment. And I think that people do that. And when I see them do that, I see them work themselves up and get upset. And like say a girl was hitting on you one day, and then the week later she's hanging out with this other guy. I've seen people get really worked up over that kind of thing. And I feel like it's just because you're in that moment. You're thinking in that moment, like, dude, you could be anyone else right now. You just happen to be you. Like,
it's facts.
And 2 weeks ago, you didn't know this girl. Remember that?
Right.
Remember that?
She didn't matter 2 weeks ago. But yeah, like, and I mean, even today, I think I told you, and I'll tell everybody else, like, one of my friends, his daughters got stranded in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And like all of these horrible things have happened. But yet here I am in Chicago today, right when everything goes down, not that far away. So like, you know, they're really upset. They're feeling terrible. But I'm like, yo, look at this. This is actually, she's like, oh, everything usually goes good when I travel. Like there's never been a problem. Well, there you go. Because you know what? As you travel through life, through whatever, you're going to have some issues, man. You got to know how to navigate that. You know, you need to, it just opens your eyes, like for shady businesses or, you know, situations. You're just getting ready for the next. It's just preparing you, you know, for the greater that's out here, you know. So there's always a reason. I don't care what they say.
Yeah.
There is a reason for all things. There was a reason why I was in Chicago this weekend. There was multiple reasons. You know, I met a stranger. I'm rescuing my friend's daughters. Like, come on. And I'm also here with you. Like, how is this? Like, how do we even know each other? You know what I mean? Through these like random little moments. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
We don't belong together. Like, how is this happening? But I adore you, right?
No,
And
I know exactly what you mean.
I don't see my life without you either. You know what I mean? Like you're a very important part of my story.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what happens. The life is beautiful, guys. Like,
and it's so strange.
Detox all the bullshit.
Yeah.
And just really take a look at what's around you.
Yeah.
There's so much. And there's joy, there's laughter. Yeah, there's sorrow, but there's always joy after. You know, you'll find that joy, you know, you'll find that happiness and that peace, you know? So, yeah. There's greater things ahead. You're more than just right now. Right?
Well, and it's so like, what I was just thinking a moment ago is it's just so strange to think like these moments that you create now are going to be the moments that are foundational later. Yeah. Everything you're doing now is foundational later. Like you look back at things and you're like, whoa, who the fuck, how did I even meet that random guy? Right? That we're best friends now. Like what? So but I had no idea who he was, and now I feel so close to him, and it just kind of falls into place. And you know, I think it's easy to trick yourself into thinking like, okay, life is kind of over. Like life's kind of happened already, and we're just in like the aftermath of life. We're just moving forward now, but it's still always happening, and there's still always those foundational moments that are going to lead to something different that you could have never expected. And I think, again, going back, it's like being open, right? It's allowing those moments to flow into your life. And also being conscious enough to put yourself in positions where those moments can happen.
So I have a story. So back when I was running a program for youth, and like this is like the 20 years of, you know, mentoring and everything else, I used to walk around and tell my kids, that's what I call them, my fuel kids. I would tell them, I say, I don't know why, I don't know how, but I know in my heart, and I was 26 when I was saying this, 26, 27. I said, before I turn 40, I need to learn how to break dance. That's exactly what they did, fam. They laughed at me.
It's not the sentence I expected to hear.
They laughed at me, right? Like they were just like, yeah, okay, Shawny, whatever. You're just crazy, you know? And I was like, I don't know what it is. I don't know why, but I just know. I was never even exposed to that stuff. I love 90s gangster rap. I was like in the 90s hip hop golden era. I loved it. I still love it. And that was my jam, but I wasn't exposed to that ever. So I don't even know. I didn't realize that it just came out of my mouth. I said it with some little seed of a dream in my heart. I said it. And then after that, I tried to connect with the people in the area. I found out who were legit. Door slam. I mean, like it just kept, like there was always a no, or we can't, or it's not going to work because we don't have a place, and all of these things, right? And I just gave up. I was like, it must have just been a crazy dream. Like it must have just been like a random idea, crazy idea, because I'm crazy and I like to do crazy random things and things that seem impossible, right? And so anyways, I dropped it. And then I was in Florida 2013, and I was at a conference, and a lady walked up to me who I didn't know. And she said, I see you everywhere you go, like in this place. And it was like a business-ish kind of conference, and it was like a Christian conference, but it was like a business-y, you know, everybody was very well dressed. And anyways, she's like, I keep having this like picture of you in my head. She's like, I don't even know what to call what you're doing. she says, but you have sweatpants on and tennis shoes and you're wearing this hat. And she's like, I don't know what to call this. Or she's like, you're surrounded, and she does this, by young and old, and they're all watching you. And I was like, what? She said, yeah, you're on your shoulder, on your back, on your head. I was like, what, lady? Like, who are you? What was your name again? And I said, you have no idea what you're saying to me, lady. I said, you're breathing life into a dead dream, because I had dropped it. This was years and years after. So anyways, I get home from that trip, and what is in my email inbox? Hey, Shawny, this is the people who I've been trying to connect with all these years. We're starting a class next month if you're interested. A hip-hop class, dance class. I was like, there it is. Dove in head first. I started learning breaking at 38 years old, 2 years before I turned 40. And it's been 10 years. I'm 48 now, which is wild to me. And I travel all over the country battling in the culture. And it's just like, when there's something in you, you see it, there's a dream, you can say it. You know, when I spoke it, I heard it, I paid attention to the dreams, and I actually said it out loud, but then I gave it up, right? But then it came back, right? Like the door opened in the right timing. Sometimes we know that there's something that we're supposed to do, but it's not actually quite time yet.
Yeah.
You know, things need to like line up first, timing wise, whether it's inside of you or around you. Like, don't get frustrated if things aren't lining up quite right yet. You know, there's other puzzle pieces that need to come into play. And for me, I started at 38. I was learning around 6-year-olds. I was learning to break next to 6-year-olds, fam. It was crazy.
Really?
But enter the greatest adventure of my life. One of the greatest adventures.
Yeah.
Hip hop culture. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty dope. And it's wild. And you never know. Like, again, fate. What is it? There was a dream in my heart, and I just said it. I just echoed. I like literally just said it. You know? And I actually dared to believe it. But then, you know, what happens when it doesn't happen right away? You know? I had to let it die. But, when a seed goes into a ground, what does it do? It has to die and break open. And in its time, it's going to come up, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So anyways, that's just my little thing. Don't be impatient when the thing isn't actually, you know, when you got pieces that are not connecting yet. They're still there. They're important. You'll get there.
Yeah.
You know? It's pretty dope. So.
Well, usually at the end of this show, what we always do is we give them a lesson to take home. I think we gave them 200 million of those throughout the episode.
Do that.
Yeah, we're good at that.
Yeah.
I'm good at. I've noticed I'm good at pulling that out of people, but with you, I don't even have to try. So it's just like it's like a lesson fest.
Usually
I feel like
about the heart, though. It's always like heart. Like, I'm never a comedian. I'm always heart, but I'm funny sometimes. But like, you know,
you tapped into your funny side today. I feel like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I can get a little crazy.
You can start doing stand up now.
I could do impressions, but they only happen like spur of the moment when I'm thinking about them. Like, if the moment isn't, it could never be like a trained thing. It has to be like spontaneous.
I can do impressions, but the problem is I always bomb.
Say huge.
Huge.
No, that was too much H.
I apologize. I was in the middle of drinking a diet soda. I meant to say huge. China is a huge country, very big country, and I'd actually like to take over China. I think China would be better if America were China, and then the Chinese people spoke only American because it is the greatest language in all of history.
I feel like what it is it's the cadence. Yeah, I feel like I'm
good.
him. As I do it, I feel like I'm tapping into something that's beyond me.
Yes. Yes.
I didn't go all the way on the hands there, but if I were to, you can clearly see it's about painting a picture.
Yeah. I like how you did the head tilt too. It's pretty awesome. I do that too. I'm like mannerisms. I will embody mannerisms and tone and everything, but I can never do it on demand. It has to happen.
It just has to come out of you.
Yeah, it's like it has to flow out of me freely. But yeah, it's pretty awesome when it happens. That was actually really great.
Thank you. I've practiced a shameful amount. I've done it a lot, and every time I pull it out, I'm like, oh, I'm doing it again. But I've gotten it down so good that I don't think you people. I've seen people do what people do with Trump that I can't do is they'll like say his euphemisms that I can never remember to say. Like he'll have little phrases that he says a lot of the time, and that's what I fail to do. Because if you do those along with everything else I'm doing, I think it'd be almost perfect. Like, because so this is a lesson for everyone listening. I'm talking in the cadence. I'm doing the thing, but I'm talking in my normal voice because this is part of it. Because this is part of it. It's slow. You build it out. You make them wait for what you're going to say. So when you do say it, it's huge. It really hits them. It hits them hard. Oh, and the other thing is I learned you got to go into your voice like that. They really understand what I'm saying when I start doing that. It's like a good movie. And I love movies. You know what movies I don't like? Bollywood. I don't like Bollywood movies. Not good.
Yes.
Too many explosions. Not enough dialogue. More drama.
This is everything. I think this can continue forever. This is awesome. I love
my
it.
podcast from here on out.
Oh my God.
Just drag people into a Trump impression.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
One segment I did 2 episodes ago. It's going to be a new one. We'll let the people know before we get out of here. It's the prank call segment of the episode. He convinced me to do it. I haven't prank called anyone since I was 10. Shout out Chase Richard. We both prank called somebody. It was very fun.
Awesome.
So every now and then on this show, you can expect a prank call.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't think you're a prank caller. Something tells me that you would probably prank call and feel bad within the first 5 seconds.
I would feel terrible. I've actually done it. So, okay, wait. Okay. When I was in middle school, they had an AIDS hotline.
Oh.
And I called the AIDS hotline.
The prank
And
call?
I was like,
oh.
From a payphone, fam. Payphone. I was like, I'm sick and I don't know what to do. And I was like, oh my God. Afterwards, I felt so horrible.
That's crazy.
I felt so terrible to actually.
You took it so far.
How terrible is that? And I did. I took it far. I experimented with how far I could go, what I can get away with. And like, but every single time I felt horrible after, like my conscience, right? Like, because I'm so connected to the heart. Like, what the crap? One time I beat the crap out of a girl. And she started screaming. And this was in middle school also because I was being challenged. I was told I was weak and all of this stuff. So, where I grew up, I had to, we had to prove ourselves and,
represent.
And so anyways, she came at me. She threw first punch. I threw last punches, and she lost a tooth. Started screaming, and I felt so bad. My tooth. I was like, oh my God, I just broke her tooth. Like, come on. And I literally helped her up after beating the crap out of her.
Yeah.
Like, that's how, I don't know, I just can't,
You got mom energy for sure.
I'm sorry, world.
That mom energy is baked into your soul.
But the world needs
You're connected
more
to the
mom
heart.
energy.
Yeah, the world needs mom energy. The world needs nurture.
Yeah.
The world needs it, yeah.
But I tried. I really tried. But
yeah. You tried. You did try. You tried to rebel. It's just not in you. I never knew that about you. That's fun to know. Now it all goes into the breaking. All of that energy is in the breaking now.
Well, yeah, the fighting and everything, like growing up and like the way, because my heart was always super tender, but because, I was getting the shit kicked out of me, almost every day, getting followed home and all of that, you have to walk different, you have to be hard. So I was. Yeah. And I have been.
Well, that's a life lesson. I think that's like, you can only be so sheltered, and that sounds harsh, but it's just true that like if you don't get taught certain lessons early on, you become a mark, for lack of a better word. You need to get hardened a little bit, or else you don't know the things you need to know in those situations.
Exactly. So if I didn't get the crap kicked out of me, if I didn't experience all of the trauma that I've experienced, all the hardship that I've experienced, I wouldn't have been able to love on, mentor, be a safe place, be a place of detox.
Yeah, right, yeah.
For others.
Yes, right? And people need that.
Again, those puzzle pieces, bringing it back, there was a reason for them. Even the ugly ones, even the dark ones that have no shape, no form, you can't tell what it really connects to or what the purpose of it is. There's a reason, and it when you look at it all, it's actually quite beautiful.
Yeah.
My story is beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, your story is beautiful, right? It's just, just choosing and remembering to see that so that you can handle right now. So, yeah.
Awesome. And then the social medias, where can they find you?
Oh, okay. So you can find me at Truheart, Heart photo on Instagram, or Truheartphoto LLC on Facebook, but IG is the place to be. So, yeah. Thanks for listening, fam. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming back. 3-time guest.
Yes.
That is another, that is a record that you do hold. That is a record you are in the, I want to say, top 8 echelon. There's only 8 people who've gone
Dope.
3 or more, so you're
I'm
in
honored.
there. Yeah.
I'm so honored. And it's dope, because the last 2 were in Flint. And so now I brought Flint to you.
Well, and that's what I've been waiting to do, truly, is to, I hope if people from Flint are watching this, when I moved here, I was hoping that because I was already doing the podcast there, it would kind of frame it as a Flint to Chicago bridge type thing. And now that I've been in Chicago, I've done all these podcasts, if a couple people from Flint start visiting and coming on the show, it becomes that even more. Jackman Raps, I think, is going to be coming for Lollapalooza here pretty soon, so that'll be fun. He'll be visiting for sure.
That's what's up.
And Jackman, when he comes back, I think that'll make him a 5-time guest. Yeah,
Wow.
5-time.
That's what's up.
That's right.
That's what's up.
So shout out Jackman. Maybe 4, but I want to say 5. Either way, we're getting up there.
Yeah.
And it's cool to have people who are consistently coming back. You're obviously always going to be invited back to the show. We love you here on Ruse Radio.
you.
Our heart goes out to you, heart to heart. But yeah, for real. I mean, if anybody from Flint's watching, that's the whole idea. We're trying to interconnect everything. Puzzle pieces, baby. Here on Ruse Radio. Clocking out.
Double down, competition couldn't help him to rock. Missed the whole time, holy fell through the flock. That's an ordinary miracle, wealth to the block. It's a balance in the character that's calm and collect. It's apparent his caricature is lost in the